Hi, this is a reflection on lesson 321 in A Course in Miracles, and it says, Father, my freedom is in you alone. Father, my freedom is in you alone. And forget the father language and all of that, because we know how I feel about that. What it's pointing to, actually, I don't even know what it's pointing to, but what hit me in this moment of this lesson was how, because right before this lesson we're in like a new set of 20, I guess, and it usually starts with some long page about what these next set of lessons are about. And it was talking, actually, what was it talking about that made me think about this? It says, what is creation? And it's, creation is the sum of all God's thoughts, infinite, everywhere, without limit. And it goes on and on and on. And what I think about with the word, with all of this, it's this feeling of allowing everything to coexist. Everything is possible. Everything is true. This, even the word everything just means anything that you could possibly imagine can coexist together. And wherever I feel separation or division rising up in me, it's false. It doesn't point to a truth. It is fruitless. It only brings about more division and separation, meaning separation between people, division within my own self, black and white thinking, duality, whatever you want to call it. There's just, it's hard to put into words, but there's this feeling that feels like the ultimate truth is that everything, one of the ultimate truths, I guess, for me, is because my whole life has been about bouncing between extremes, contemplating everything, trying to figure out what feels real, what feels true. And as soon as I dig my heels into something, I prove it false. Like, not even false, but that the opposite is also true. And why have an opinion about anything? It's because opinions are kind of, what are they? What, it's just like I said before, it's like a belief, and belief is just thoughts you dig your heels into. Like, and meaning I identify with that. I'm saying that's me. That's me because I believe it. It's something, and what is that? It's all illusion. It's all like so, it's like a cloud floating through the sky. And you can identify with the next thing and say, that's me. And that's me. And then instead of like digging into each one as its own separate thing, we can dig into everything and say, it's all me. I am. So one thing my Qigong teacher says that just popped into my head right now is it's kind of like a little prayer during our practice, if you want to call it prayer, is I am in the universe. The universe is in me. The universe and I are one. I might have gotten it backwards between like, the universe is in me, I am in the universe and I are one. And it feels like that points to this same feeling of the universe of all that exists is in me. I am in the universe. Like I don't have to think in terms of separateness and this versus that. Like the word versus, like, why do we have to? It feels like a fundamental way that we're wired to think. And this whole journey of from that to no self and to oneness and whatever you want to call it is like loosening the grip of that black and white, this or that thinking, so that everything can coexist and I don't have to identify with any of it, right? Because it's all just mist. It's all just mist. It's not even there, and yet everything is true. It's so hard to talk about, but it's such a feeling. It's like And to rest in that feeling is to just blast your face off. It's like just, it is so deep, so profound, so real, so close. It allows everything to be here, and it allows something, also feels like an energy of like keeping things separate, apart, like a pushing back, pushing out the world. And it feels like to come to this feeling of allowing everything to exist, whatever it is for you, wherever you feel like, I look at myself, whenever I feel like a this or that judgment call being made, or like, it's so hard to describe, but just that separateness, like I feel something is wrong because I feel like this righteousness about something. And then you really got to look at it and be like, it can all exist. And then a softening happens, an opening, and a clarity, and all the things. But you know what? I saw a video actually this week. Somebody was doing a pointing to like that empathetic righteousness as a feeling. And I think that's the thing I see out in social media a lot, is like that I was talking about in these other lessons, is that empathetic righteousness, like this idea that we are empathic creatures. We feel each other. We truly do. And then we want to do something about it when something is taken advantage of or treated wrongly or an injustice is done. And then there's this empathetic, the empath righteousness, like because I feel so deeply, what I feel is true and right, and that's your truth, right? So anything that is different than that, or on the opposing side of that, there's this righteousness that rises up and says, it shouldn't be this way, and I have the right view because I feel deeply, and you're not going to tell me that what I feel is wrong, so therefore I'm right. You know, that sort of thing. It's not exactly that, but you get the point. And it's like, why does that even, that's okay to exist, and it's the opposing viewpoints, that those are okay to exist too. And so this, like, the more we can come into like an allowing for everything to be as it is, then we're not holding everything at arm's length, separate from myself. Because when we're separate from something and we're like, that's wrong, I don't like it, we block it from even trying to understand it. If you want to go at it from like a cognitive understanding, but really from a feeling understanding, an empath understanding, like, how did that come into being? It could have been born of love. It could have been born of somebody's true, correct moral intentions, whatever you want to call it. It's just something you don't agree with, so it's wrong. And so I look inside and I'm like, where do I feel any amount of something being wrong or this or that thinking? Because when I feel like a this or a that, it feels like a fundamental untruth, because everything truly is one in that way. And it's hard to come at that from a cognitive perspective, because we're like, no, there's separation and there are particles and there's a chair and there's a table and those aren't the same thing, you know? So it's not that kind of understanding, which makes it hard to talk about. So this to me felt like, universe, my freedom is in you alone. And that means like the universe created all that it created, whatever, God, whatever. And therefore it exists, and therefore it's true, and it's real, and we can allow it all to exist without thinking one thing about it, right or wrong, this or that, good or bad. It is possible, and that is freedom. It says it right there. It's in you alone. It's freedom. And I feel like that's what a lot of us we want. We just want that sense of freedom and peace and ease and flow. And that's how we get it, is eradicating the this or that, the separation within us. It's possible. So that was lesson 321 for me. Probably doesn't have anything to do with that, but again, that's what I thought of it. So there you go. Bye.